guys, what's up? This is FanPop Kid, and welcome to a trailer thought / rant thoughts on a trailer that just came out recently, and and this is a movie I am not looking forward to. That will have to wait after it comes out the theater though, and yes, I know this is gonna suck for sure. After they screwed up the reboot, after the franchise were gotten completely worse, you know. And I know I couldn't stand that franchise either, but I mean, first off, of course, I'm talking about Resident Evil. Sorry, I keep clearing my throat. Sorry about that, guys. Now, what I'm trying to say, Resident Evil, it's just called Resident Evil. I didn't say Resident Evil something, whatever. I mean, I don't know. Now, let's just get to the plot of the trailer. I mean, the teaser trailer. Yeah, the teaser. We got this one guy, you know, who is running around, you know, and then he's getting a phone call and calling his wife or girlfriend, whatever, and just, you know, that he may or may not come home or whatever, you know. It shows them like zombies, and it has a really good looking shot of the zombies have their hands on the door, you know. I don't know, it was from like a hospital or something. Or kind of like in The Walking Dead in a way. It's got that Walking Dead vibe to that, of the zombie's hand to the door, you know. That shows the zombie hands on the door windows. That's pretty neat, you know. But yeah, I will not be surprised if they put like don't open dead inside or something, right? But I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Now this guy, I forget though the main character. I don't know what's the main character's gonna be though. No, it's not Leon Kennedy. It's not Chris Redfield. It's not Billy Cohen. Well, I have to say his name in a few minutes. Now, it's got some really nice blood splatter, you know, which I will say that's a pretty good blood effect. I will say, I can get credit to it. And we've got this really fat guy showing in the dark. I'm like, is this some kind of joke or something? What? Or is this like that overweight fat character look kind of reminds me of the Duke from Resident Evil Village? I mean, yeah, I know the 8th Resident Evil game from what, 2020 or 21, I think it was. I don't remember what year it came out, but I enjoyed Resident Evil Village. I mean, the end was the end of the game was very was a breakdown for me, because they had to kill out the main character, the character of Ethan Winters. Yeah, they had to do that for obvious reasons, which just sucks though. But you know, what though, now. Sorry, but yeah, that's all I'd say about the plot of the trailer. I don't know much though. I don't care anything about it though, because I will say that that's not going to be any excuse to make another Resident Evil game. Like, I don't see what's so hard about making a Resident Evil movie that looks exactly like the game. You know, like, for example, I've seen people comments on the Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City clip saying that, oh, what's so hard about making a good Resident Evil movie? Which is true though, because I mean, I don't see what's so hard about making a Resident Evil movie that is that good. That's like look exactly like the games, you know. I mean, sorry, I don't see anything wrong with it, you know. Or I'm not wrong. I'm sorry. I don't see anything hard about making an actual Resident Evil movie. But instead, we just have another reboot one, and it looks like, okay, it just looks like a letdown. So, and I'm definitely not interested with this. I'm sorry. Now, first off, I grew up with the Resident Evil games. Okay, so just so you know, except there's a few of them I never got to play growing up. I only got to watch the gameplay of it, or back in the early 2010s, you know, and everything, right? But yeah. Anyways, let's get to the games now. Now, Resident Evil, the first Resident Evil, or the director's cut. It was pretty fun though, and I enjoyed it to this day. It was a pretty fun Resident Evil game, and it's a classic as well. The Resident Evil remake or 2002 game, that was fantastic remake, or remastered, whatever. Sorry. Resident Evil Zero, the prequel, that was a great prequel in my opinion. I mean, the problems they have though, yes, but I thought it was a very underrated, great prequel in my opinion. Yeah, Resident Evil Zero. Yeah, I just love the ending to that game though, which I thought was badass though. But you know, Resident Evil 2, that was a great game, great sequel. I love Resident Evil 2. Same with Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. I loved as well, which is a very fun Resident Evil game to go up against the Nemesis. You know, that drop stuff when you take down a Nemesis, like anytime the Nemesis get to you. But I enjoyed Resident Evil 3. Now Resident Evil 4, I thought this has to be. I believe this has to be still my all-time favorite Resident Evil game in my opinion. I love Resident Evil 4, the fourth one. I love Resident Evil 4. I mean, I like Resident Evil Code Veronica. I have not played any. I have not played the first two or the Outbreak 1 and 2. I haven't played those ones. Not even Dead Aim. I haven't played that one either. But I have watched the gameplays of it though, like a long time ago. But I never got to play it either. Right now, so. Now, Resident Evil 5, that game was okay. Now, Resident Evil 6 is possibly my least favorite of the franchise, the game franchise. Now, I'm not that big on the Revelations. I'm not big on that though right now. Now, Resident Evil 7 or Biohazard, I surprisingly enjoyed. I thought that was a pretty fun Resident Evil game though. The Resident Evil Village, it was pretty good as well, except the ending was a big breakdown for me. You know, because of a, you know, obvious reason, one reason, you know. And then Resident Evil 9 or Resident Evil Requiem, I loved it. Well, despite they have a different ending, which is bullshit to me though, so I don't know what Capcom's thinking about making another ending, which is a bullshit ending to me though. Which that ending, I don't want to say it though, but that really don't exist in my mind. So at least to the other end, the good ending, okay? To see Leon Kennedy fight against Victor, that beast looking, this viral type thing, I forget what you call it, but anyway. I mean, I like the character of Grace though. I mean, I like Grace. Yeah, Grace is a really awesome, great character, female character or whatever, you know. You know, right next to like Claire Redfield, Jill Valentine, and Rebecca Chambers. You know, yeah, I like Grace. And it's also great to hear Sherry, you know, on the phone or the speaker thing while Leon's, you know, investigating, right? But yeah. But anyway, back to this movie that's coming out. Now, first of all, Resident Evil is coming out in September. Somewhere in September. I forget what day though. But now, I know this is gonna suck anyway because I know anytime to make a Resident Evil movie, we all know it will suck, big time. You know, I mean, first off, now same with the Resident Evil games though. I enjoyed just the first two Resident Evil movies. You know, the ones from 2002. I thought it was a good movie though. I thought it was a pretty good Resident Evil, a pretty good zombie film or whatever, or thriller or whatever you call it. Resident Evil Apocalypse. Okay, it's not liked by everybody, sure, but I thought that was a pretty decent sequel in my opinion. Resident Evil Apocalypse. Yeah, I know, yes, I know. I believe that's pretty much the last one I like though, but the rest of them suck. I know, I hate Extinction, Afterlife, Retribution, and of course, especially the final chapter. Yeah, I hate all those ones, including the rebooted one called Welcome to Raccoon City. Well, I mean, I used to like it kind of when I first watched it though, but I didn't saw it in the theater either though. I just watched it from the Redbox, but I used to like it though for some reason. But when I possibly really watched it, I'm like, okay, that reboot was pretty terrible. So that was pretty awful. Yeah, I know. I'm not a fan of the reboot from 2021. Yeah, I know they literally just screwed that up though. So I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City either. Yeah, either of those, so, you know. But I don't know. I'm generally not interested yeah, especially with this one, Resident Evil, with the same title, like with the Resident Evil movie, the first one, and like the ones from 1996 and 2002. You know, that's. I'm not saying it's gonna look suck. I mean, it's gonna look. I will say it just a tiny bit suck because there's a couple of things I had good things about it though, but not the most of it. That's not gonna be promised me. It's not enough. I mean, it's got this overweight character that looks kind of reminds me of the ones from Resident Evil Village called the Duke. If you're familiar with that character, yeah, the ones from that game, yeah. Yeah, I know that. I know. Yeah, but what this is gonna be? If you watch my review of weapons, I actually mentioned this before that there were gonna be a Resident Evil movie, another reboot, which is just called Resident Evil, And this is the same director as Weapons, and I forgot Barbarian. I mean, I didn't like Barbarian, and I do not like Weapons either, though, and I'm sorry. I mean, I gotta have to give credits to Jurassicgodzillafan for with his same opinion and everything, because, I mean, I'm not trying to copy people's ideas and everything, or have the same opinions. I mean, it just happens to have the same opinions, which is normal, but sometimes we copy whatever, but the thing is, without that, we just had the same opinions sometimes, I just had to give a shout out to Jurassicgodzillafan and give credits to him, and I had to agree that this director is very overrated. So shout out to Jurassicgodzillafan for that. Yeah, I will say that this is that director is very overrated. So I feel like he needs to stop making movies unless it'll be promising, But I don't know, guys. Now, at least there's a couple of good ones from last year. I think, yeah, last year. Like, I mean, I like Sinners. I understand Sinners is not liked by everybody. Say it's overrated, but I like Sinners. Okay, I liked Warfare. I like other ones. And what else? Okay, of course, there's some like video game movies. I love I love all three of the Sonic movies. All three of them, and I am looking forward to the upcoming Sonic 4 movie. Sonic 4, that Christian Bale is going to play as Amy Rose, I'll have to make a thoughts video about that, about Sonic 4. And I don't know if it's going to be any good or anything, but I don't know. But, well, you'll see though. But now, I mean, I'm not really interested with the second Mortal Kombat movie though. I know I like that one actress that she was going to be in this film. I forget though, but I mean, I forget what her name is in real life though, but I can't believe she's gonna be in that film though. The second Mortal Kombat movie. But well, I don't remember if it came out or not though, but I'll have to look back up on it. But anyway, now I know I just lost track of release dates on my mind out of my mind, so forgive me about that. So I don't know, guys. So I don't know what else to say, guys. I mean, I'm not interested with that though. What else is some other video game movies, I'm not sure, guys, but oh yeah, I am gonna make a thoughts video. Next, I will make a thoughts video about the Spider-Man A Brand New Day, which I'm not gonna say anything quite yet though. I will make a video for you guys about it. But yeah, that's my thoughts video of Resident Evil, or Resident Evil the reboot. Yeah, reboot. Whatever, another reboot. I mean, they just screwed up the 2021 film though. It hasn't been 5 years now. Jeez, I know 5 years wasn't really that long, but come on. I mean, times went by, I guess, but that's crazy, Yeah, I know. It's been 5 years since the reboot that the Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City came out. I cannot believe this. And I'm not quite interested in going to see it in theater because I don't want to waste my money or time to buy tickets to go see it, because I don't know. It just got some mix to it for this movie, which I don't want to say anything about it, so, But yeah, so, And I had to agree though, and I gave a shout to Jurassicgodzillafan for the same opinion of this director, because I also think he does a really good job making rants on certain movies and whatever, you know, that we don't like, or what we, well, except there's, well, I'm not going to say any more details about it, but yeah, I'm just going to leave a shout to him about that. And same with the method with him about the Resident Evil, about the Halloween 2018, you know, method for the title for this movie. You know, Halloween H40 as a title. Yeah, that's the same method as he made up, you know. But yeah, that he come up with, you know. But yeah. Oh, speaking of that character in this movie, I mean, I would not be surprised that they would have add. Okay, don't you remember they add all the Resident Evil characters in those movies, you know, for the franchise? I would not be surprised if they ever put the character of Billy Cohen from Resident Evil Zero, Billy Cohen. I mean, I would not be surprised if they ever put him in this movie, the new movie, you know. I mean, we haven't even seen him at all. I mean, I don't remember if we see Rebecca Chambers in that either, though. But I mean, Billy Cohen is such an underrated character from Resident Evil Zero. I'm sorry. I mean, I understand that. I mean, I do know why that Capcom won't bring it back though, which I do know why though. But so I do understand it though. But yeah, but I mean, I would not be surprised they ever have like a live action version of Billy Cohen in this upcoming crap movie. You know, I'm just saying, you know, but yeah, so but I don't know, guys. So, but anyways, yeah, I know I'm just surprised about this. So, I mean, I would not be surprised something about this, you know. But so yeah. Anyway, you guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, team with respect. Peace out, and I'll see you guys later, you guys. See ya.